What's happening? You alright?
I'm good, man. I've had a really fun day. The shoot beat the rain. It's mad raining here. I don't know where you guys are, but yeah, so it was all good, man. Lovely actor. It was nice to be back in the fields on location. What about you?
Oh, mate, I've been stuck indoors editing videos all day long.
But you stuck indoors editing. I mean, I keep chatting about it all this week and stuff. That'll be for your new online platform, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I've been just busy editing all the videos for my new online platform, which has more upkeep than I thought originally. But no, it's good. I do enjoy it. It's part of the process, it's part of the journey, it's part of learning new skills and things like that. So it's important that I understand how to do it properly.
That's amazing. I mean, I love that. Is it something that came about? I mean, from what I saw, it was on the cards before lockdown, right? But you released it just at the beginning.
No, to be honest, I had launched my business just before lockdown, about a 1 month before lockdown.
Okay.
I had loads of work booked in, like internationally and stuff, and then obviously that all just got completely wiped out, like everyone else's.
Mm.
As soon as the virus came along, and then that just kind of spurred me on to do it much quicker because it gave me the time to be able to go and do all the filming straight away. I guess it would have taken me about 6 months to a year to probably get the platform to a starting point because I did everything myself from building the website to building the platform within the website. And then I've done all the filming and the editing and literally everything from what you can imagine. Everything that you see online is everything that I've created myself, which is quite a task. It took a while, but obviously lockdown gave me the time to be able to do that, which was a blessing in disguise. So I just used that time super wisely to be able to do that. I don't know. I've always got really high expectations of myself and my work, and I guess I didn't realize how much you need to put into something like this. Because what I'm doing is I'm releasing about 3 to 4 videos a month, 3 pre-recorded and edited, and then 1 live stream,
Yeah.
which I put on there, as well as a podcast that goes on monthly. So every month there's 3 edited videos, 1 live stream that gets filmed and uploaded, and then 1 podcast. But even though that doesn't sound like loads and loads, that is a good 4 weeks worth of graft, I guess, plus to kind of get that all filmed and edited, and then I send each and every video off to a service online where it gets subtitles transcripted onto the platform as well. So the platform is actually in Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian, as well as English, with subtitles. So it's not just one video going on there; it's 4 videos of every video.
Your flair for men's hairdressing, mate, is exquisite. I love it. I'm so
Thanks, man.
enthralled by it. So where does that come from?
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. So my hairdressing started at a company called Hob Salons. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a big London chain based around the North London area, actually. Their main academy and place is in Camden
Yeah.
Lock. So I actually did my apprenticeship through Hob when I started when I was 19, and I built my way up through their company as an apprentice, as a young stylist, and so on and so on. So I kind of started my hairdressing journey as a women's and a men's hairdresser. Just like many barbers now, actually, a lot of them have started in women's hair, I find, and then do slowly just adapt to being more of a men's hairdresser or a barber these days, which is interesting, actually. But yeah, so I did that for about 3 or 4 years before I just fully stepped into the men's. And then, yeah, my journey into education and so on really started from then on. But the whole education thing was amazing. We built it up from the ground up, designing our own courses, starting in the UK, delivering the education, started to get asked to go to Scotland and Ireland.
Yeah. Amazing.
And even at that time, after like 6 months to a year of doing education, I was like, oh my God, we've made it. Like we're traveling. Like I just felt the buzz of getting on a plane and being like, I'm getting paid to go and do this and travel. And it just blew my mind. And that was only in Ireland or Scotland. So yeah, from the get-go, it was very inspiring to like be on that journey, and I always felt like something special was going to come out of going down that route, I guess.
And is that what kind of led you into this now? Where you at?
Yeah, so like, you know, like obviously I'm trying to cram everything to a nutshell so I don't bore people with my life story. But you know, building it up from Ireland and that, we started to travel around the world, and literally I've been very fortunate enough to travel everywhere, all across America, South America, you know, Brazil, Russia, Europe, Australia, Korea, like literally most countries that you could name. I've pretty much been to and been able to do seminars and private classes, and the last kind of 3-4 years I've pretty much been doing that full time as an educator. And it's just been amazing. Like I said, I've had the most amazing journey. I've had the most amazing team members. I've had the most amazing, you know, leaders and bosses around me, and company that, you know, had a very driven goal that I was very much a part of. And then, yeah, it just got to a point towards the end of last year where I felt like I had achieved so much already, and I've always got that mentality of what's next, and what do I want out of my future? What short-term goals? What's long-term goals? What's next for me? You know, I've always got that. I've always had that creative mind, I guess. And there always comes a point, I think, when you've got that frame of mind, that sometimes you need to explore it. And the best option for me to explore that part of what I wanted to achieve in my future was to potentially go off and do my own thing. And that's kind of where Hair in Motion came around, because I felt like I had achieved everything I needed to with Menspire, and it was in such a strong place and a good place, and it still is, and it always will be, that I could always leave there knowing I've done such a good job there. And I can look back on it as such a positive in my career, but I want to veer off and go and do my own thing and spread my wings in other avenues of the industry, which I wasn't able to do at Menspire. The name Hair in Motion actually, like, it just came around really organically. It wasn't something that I thought about or something that I was like planning. I actually called my YouTube channel that about 6 years ago, based off the back of something completely different. Called it that. It didn't really have any relevance to anything to do with hair. It was more of just a bit of fun. And I used to post loads of live streams onto my YouTube channel and stuff. And over the years, it's just built up a really organic, natural audience where people knew me from the word Hair in Motion. People used to always, like, so when I used to travel around the world to like places in America and teach people on the Menspire courses, they always used to say to me like, oh, hey man, when are you like uploading a new video on Hair in Motion? So I was already like linked to that word and that name, and people knew me through that meaning. So when it came to like deciding like, I think I'm gonna go and do my own thing now, I didn't really want to think of some like really quirky like brand name that I had to just pull out the bag and start like representing myself through that name. I just thought like, I'm already associated with something where people know me uploading videos and related to hair, and it's already got a name behind it organically, without any intention behind it. So I always thought to myself, if I ever did something in the future, I would never have the word hair in the title because it's so cliche when you're a barber or a hairdresser and you've got barber's hair in it. You're just like, like, I think as brands have evolved, you can name your brand anything that doesn't have to correlate to what you're actually doing in terms of business. So I always said to myself like, oh, you know, it would never have hair in or anything like that. I think that's a bit cringy, but here we go. I've got my brand and it's called Hair in Motion, but it's just so easy on the tongue and it just rolls off, and people knew me through that already. I just thought, do you know what? I'm not even going to play around with another name. I'm just going to go with it. And if it works, it works. And yeah, I think it works. So
you're clearly a very skilled barber, but I don't know, you bring in like your understanding of shape and form. Like it's so, it's next level for a lot of. I love what barbers do. Don't get me wrong, but you know, it's your long hair work. You know, like the medium hair work. That's always a bit more impressive for me because, you know, there's a certain, you know, there are lots of different ways to fade and all this kind of stuff. But a lot of barbers I feel struggle. I mean, there are some great people that do some more awesome, you know, long hair work like Hayden Cassidy. We had on a few weeks back, and she does that as well. But like yours is like, I don't know, it's just got a very distinctive style. So I always wonder, like, where does that come from? Is it your Hobbs training? Is it something that you're into? I mean, it's very, I see a lot of mod in there.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess I can't put a finger on it. I guess it's a combination of my experience that I've had. I've been very fortunate enough to work with some amazing people in the industry. You know, some amazing names. I could literally just reel them off on my hand. You know, guys that are at the top of their industry within their specialist subject. You know, so I work alongside some amazing session stylists. One of my good friends called Jody Taylor. I guess you must have heard of it.
Yeah.
So Jody's a good friend of mine. He always asked me to go and assist him over the years. So I've done loads of cool projects with him. I've worked alongside some of the best technical hair cutters. Alongside, you know, I had Josh LaMonica, one of my, you know, my main mentors through Menspire. Me and him traveled the world together, and he's regarded as one of the best kind of technical men's hairdressers there is in the world. So not only that, I've then also got to being trained by some of the best women's hairdressers and technical cutters out there as well. Just the whole conundrum of people that I've come across, I guess. I picked up this from him, I picked up this from him, I picked up this from him. But what's important is that I put it together in my own way, and I've made it my own work. And I think people can definitely tell it's very distinctly my type of work, because I like to post a certain type of work. But you can see bits from him, bits from him, bits from her. I think you can pick things out from anyone around you. And like I said, I've been fortunate enough to be around a lot of great people, and I guess that's kind of been help the success of where I've got to and my taste of work.
It's what we're really, you know, the fashion and hair, how that all collides. It's what we're really passionate about at Croz. If anything, it's what we're all about. We're all about helping, you know, the educational side. It's helping people understand how those two industries always run parallel, but you know, it needs a bridge. You know, you need to be able to sort of bridge that gap between the hair and fashion, and not that education is not always available to a lot of people. We're very lucky in London, you know, and being at great companies, great session style. I mean, I do a lot of my own work, but you know, even getting involved at the beginning, I was surrounded by a plethora of session stylists to go and assist and work on shoots. And for the rest of the people around the world or outside of London, it's not that easy. So, you know, that's what we wanted to do at Croz is deliver that information. I mean, a few years back, we were bringing in stylists from outside in little shops and stuff. They come into London, we take them to Fashion Week, get them that exposure. And then since the pandemic, it's been about, well, how can we service that digitally? Yeah. But you know, we've managed it now. We've developed a couple of new trend reports, and now we're starting a new side to the agency. I suppose as Croz as an agency, it's going to be delivering sort of content packages for like Instagram and stuff for people, for like help salons. I mean, my big passion now is to say what can we do to help salons survive the pandemic. I mean, it's half and half. It feels like it's half and half. The people I talk to in London, like 50-50. Some people are, you know, still going strong, and then other people have just, you know, it's come back hard in like in June and July, but then they've just died in August, and it's been really tough for people. And we think that their Instagram, you know, it's your social media now is going to be everybody's shop window, because there isn't anybody walking around on the high streets. That is my fear. So we want to start delivering content for people to help them sort of really level up their Instagram game, and hopefully that will take off soon.
Yeah, that's an amazing idea.
So with a new agency on the horizon, does that mean you're going to be spreading your wings more onto the fashion circuit now, as well as hair? I mean, but hair emotion must take up so much time if you're doing everything. Is it always going to be you, or are you going to bring in other people for hair emotion?
My plan isn't to bring anyone in, to be honest with you. Never say never. I don't want to box myself off in a corner, but my plan was to always leave and just focus on myself and do the type of work that I want to do. So, you know, the whole beauty of being a part of an agency, which is coming up, where I'll get offered, you know, lots of different types of work in the fashion industry, is that I'll be able to do some of that. One day I'll be able to go to my studio in Hackney and do some filming for the online. Next day I can maybe have a day off. Next day I can do next day I can do some editing. Then maybe at the weekend I'll have a trip internationally and go to a seminar. So I can really start to mold my weeks and months into the type of work that I want to do, and make sure I've got lots of diversity, which is exactly what I wanted to do when I worked for myself.